Hi everyone. So I'm gonna do this video just a little bit different because I want to go over these picture books and I want you to see just exactly how wonderful they are. So this is Eric by Shaun Tan. Shaun wrote and illustrated. So this is done mainly in sketches, black and white sketches. And this is the story about a foreign exchange student who comes to stay with this family, and they think that he is so different because he doesn't talk to them a whole lot, and he kind of wants to live and work in their pantry. And so they think, you know, it's just a cultural thing, and they start like storing things in other rooms and that kind of stuff. And they always kind of question whether or not he's happy though, because he doesn't talk to them a whole lot. And they go on these weekly trips all over the place to show him a good time. And yet he always is interested in like these little things, and he wants to pick things up off the ground, and it kind of frustrates the person that he's living with, and yet he tries to remember that maybe it's just a cultural difference. And then one day Eric leaves and he doesn't say much, he just waves goodbye, and they don't really know if he's coming back or not because he didn't really say anything. They're questioning whether or not they'll ever hear from him again. And this page of the book is completely blank. There's no pictures drawn here at all, and it's as blank as they feel. And I loved that moment in the story. And then we see that Eric actually left something in the pantry for them. And he also left them a note in his teacup. And I love this right here because this flower, its shadow looks like Eric. And it says, "Thank you for a wonderful time." And this is Letting Swift River Go. This is by Jane Yolen, but I picked it up because it's illustrated by Barbara Cooney, who is one of my all-time favorite illustrators. All of Barbara Cooney's illustrations are very countryside, very almost primitive, and very cozy. They just feel very old-fashioned, very much like they are from yesteryear gone by kind of thing. Just all about the role that the river plays in this young family's life. And the different seasons of life and the way that that river helps them or provides for them. The concepts in the book are just a little older. That doesn't mean that you couldn't read it to a younger child. I'm just saying I think that the older kids are the ones that are going to get the most out of it. It's the thing that doesn't change, and what that brings them continually throughout their lifetime. All right, here is A Stone for Sasha. This is by Becker, and we talked about Erin on our live, and Jack showed you the Journey book, and Journey is a trilogy of stories, but this is a standalone, and this is about a summer vacation and this little girl who has lost her dog Sasha recently. And so this vacation is going to be very different because it's the first one without Sasha. And we are joining the family in the grieving process and joining them on the journey to the seaside. And then our little girl goes for kind of a solitary walk by herself on the beach. And when she is there, she takes the stone home and puts it on Sasha's grave. All right, then we have The Invisible Bear. This is by Cecile Metzger, who is also the illustrator of the M.H. Clark books. I'm not going to go over this one really. This is more of a gift book than it is a book that is meant to be like a story. And so, but she did illustrate this one, and she also illustrated You Belong Here, which I went over in our live. So if you want to see any of that, you can look at the live show that we did. But this is one that Cecile both wrote and illustrated, and this is The Invisible Bear. So this is the story of Bear, whose life is very plain colored. There's not a lot of definition and vibrancy about his life. He just kind of exists. And then one day, a neighbor moves in, and she brings with her color, and her name is Miss Odette. And Bear at first is very unsure of the cheerfulness and the color and the vibrancy and the sounds and everything that Miss Odette brings along with her. But then one day there is an act of kindness that happens, and it forever changes both Bear and Miss Odette. And they establish a friendship that lasts for the rest of their lives, basically. And this one is The Wolf, the Duck, and the Mouse, and this is by Mac Barnett with illustrations by John Clausen. We talked about both this author and this illustrator in our live show, but we did not talk about this book. So this book is about a wolf, a duck, and a mouse. And what happens is Wolf sees Mouse, swallows Mouse, and Mouse meets someone in the dark inside of Wolf. He meets Duck. And then it is the story of what happens after he meets Duck inside of Wolf and what they decide to do. Wolf doesn't look like he feels very good after their dance party. that you enjoyed seeing these and that you found maybe something that looks interesting to you. I really enjoyed them all, and I can't wait to maybe pick some of them up for myself. These ones are all from the library. Thanks for joining me, everyone.